Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025. Starting off now with the synoptic picture yesterday at midday. Quite a pleasant day we had in the end yesterday. Everyone that wanted to fly managed to do so, and it was nice into the evening, quite warm by late afternoon. Overnight, that high shifted a little bit, and this series of lows up just to the north of Iceland moved a little bit further down towards us. And this one particular one here has this series of cold fronts stemming from it. Got a little bit closer, and by midday today, that will have passed over the northern tip of Scotland. Not going to be an issue for us today. As you can see, even by midday today, that low has deepened a little bit. Midnight tonight, showing it's fairly slow moving once again, deeper at 954 hectopascals. And then by tomorrow at midday, it will have passed through our area, having weakened a reasonable amount. So we will probably see a bit of cloud and maybe a lower cloud associated with that, and the occasional light shower, but not as significant as the rest of the country is going to get before. Looking forward for the next few days, this high to the west southwest is pushing in, holding off some of that low pressure to the north, and we should have a few more days of pleasant conditions as we move into the weekend. Sat pick today, quite a lot of mid-level cloud here, thinner out to the west, but overhead, Lasham and the south of England, quite well established thick cloud. Expecting that probably to break up as the day goes on. And it's just sort of mid-level overcast, so very little rain associated with it. Can see some showers up to the north where that front's beginning to come in as well. In our area today, running the Met Office prediction through, very, very light showers passing up to the sides of us, but nothing that's going to be an issue today. Now we're going to look at the Odium TAF then. So they're giving us 230 degrees, 5 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, broken cloud at 2,500 feet. This morning, between the hours of 8 and 11 local, they're giving broken at 2,300 feet, and a prop 30 of late morning into early afternoon, scattered at 2,300 feet. On the other hand, similar wind, a little bit lighter, 240 degrees, 3 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, and scattered at 2,000 feet. There's a prop 30 as well for first thing this morning, cloud broken at 1,400 feet, which I think we're probably seeing at the moment. Spot winds to the south, southwesterly at around 10 knots, 2,000 feet, increasing gradually with height as it would. That's 230 degrees. And to the north, slightly less southerly component, only marginally 250 degrees at around 20 knots as well. Wind on the ground, you can see looking at windy here, a light southwesterly flow across the airfield. This will be operating runway 27. The local Met Office forecast here showing a wind strength maximum of around 8 knots in the peak of the day. Gusts not really getting above 15, but reasonable humidity today, slightly increased with the southerly component and a fairly low UV throughout today. GFS, they're giving us a temperature prediction of 17 or 18 degrees. I think that largely depends on how much this cloud breaks up. And although it did get quite warm yesterday, it's quite a warm air mass. A dew point there of 8 degrees. It's the webcam on the south side, looking to the west just now. You can see light westerly, depending on the windsock there, and thinner areas of cloud beginning to appear, and hopefully they'll start to break up sooner rather than later. Local temperature now we're plateaued at 11.2 degrees with a dew point of 9.1. Sky sight for the potential flight distance, actually on the left-hand side of the screen here, showing some sort of reasonable soaring conditions in places. On the right-hand side, we've got the point forecast for Lasham itself, and showing sort of fairly dense cloud to begin breaking up early to mid-morning, and then having some cumulus for the rest of the day, soarable to 2,000 or 2,500 feet with thermals around 2 knots in strength. I think, again, this largely depends on what this cloud does and how quickly it breaks up. If we have a look at the cloud distribution here on top Meteo, we can see the thick low level cloud, again with sub 1,000 feet. As we run that through by 10 o'clock, showing thick cloud below 500 feet, that seems unlikely, but beginning to break up from the southwest. And then by about midday here, we would see that reduction locally. There's a bit of cumulus in our area, although fairly isolated, and some fairly persistent cirrus as well. Evidence of that front working its way down the UK from the north. This should be pleasant enough into the rest of the day and evening. No times we're back to our normal no time provider here. Nothing certainly locally to affect us outside of the SBS, nothing worth elaborating on. Regarding bookings, we have two K21s on booked instruction this morning and one K21 for the casual list. There's also a K13 doing trial lessons today and plenty of single seat availability. We've got two on the casual list, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So if we could have an instructor to help with that, that would be greatly appreciated. And the simulator is available as normal. There was nothing to report from 2XL this morning, and a reminder that SPL rules are now in force. So you require your SPL to have been issued to fly with that authorization. And if you don't have your SPL or you don't have it in the post yet, your solo flying must be authorized. Come and see me if you don't know how that works. Okay, in summary, we've got high pressure to the east and low pressure to the north with an approaching cold front. Thick clouds breaking up late morning with a possibility of weak thermals with cumulus in the afternoon. We're expecting a moderate westerly or perhaps southwesterly flow across the airfield, and therefore we'll be operating on runway 27 with cables on the grass south. Reminder instructors, please don't brief at the front of the queue and do not land or taxi across the disused runways as shown in red. There's our airfield setup to finish, winching from the south of the main runway, air returning on the hard. And that's all from me this morning. We'll see you out there shortly. Have a good day and keep it safe. Thank you.